Hello, Cecil County and the world. It's October the 11th, and this is Cecil TV, and I'm Rob Churnside. Lots of stuff to talk about tonight with my good friend Matt Stauffer from the Cecil County Farm Museum. Welcome to Cecil TV.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
At my age, it's great to be anywhere. I've been all over the world. I was just in Bali, and we have a segment called Cecil County and the world, so I'm holding my feet to the fire and say, my wife and I are going to come in here and tell you all about that. Director Doug Donnelly has been to Ireland recently, and he has video from that. So we're taking it back home to Cecil County right now and the Farm Museum after being all over the world.
Sounds good.
How did you get involved as president of the Cecil County Farm Museum?
I located to Cecil County when I was in middle school. I actually started working on a dairy farm back the end of my road. My father was raised on a farm, so kind of agriculture in my blood. Worked on farms all the way up through college, but then after college I kind of drifted away. Came back to the county fair, got involved with some antique tractor pulls, and the tractor ride they do through the state park area, and one of the farmers asked me to come out to a meeting, say, hey, you should get involved in the Farm Museum. That was 2014. Kind of went to some meetings, and then I got elected to the board, and here I am the president.
So great, and congratulations. I know the Farm Museum can use a guy like you with that kind of background and enthusiasm.
Well, thank you.
2014, the museum got started with a lease from Cecil County, right?
Yep, that's correct. So the organization started back in the late 90s. Some farmers and other interested parties formed a group, and it ended up forming a nonprofit, 501c3. And then through some kind of stops and starts, they came when the Cecil County school system acquired the property on Appleton Road. The original farmhouse and barn were still there, and we signed a lease with the school system in 2014 for 8 acres on that property, including some of the buildings, and then that's where we set up the museum.
So that 8 acres on Appleton Road is where the big barn is, and that's where your museum is. And there's a lot more than just a big barn, right?
Yeah, so we have two barns where we currently have displays. The first one was the original dairy barn. We took that over and rehabbed it, took out the milking stanchions, put in what we call the learning center on the first floor. So that's where we have all our meetings, but there are also displays for 4-H, FFA, and some other, the original Nottingham lots are showcased there. And then up in the hayloft of the barn is where we have our displays, what we call our Royal Heritage displays. So you can find a kitchen, farm kitchen from like the 1930s. You'll find a one-room schoolhouse. You'll also find a general store set up, as well as carpentry, leatherwork, blacksmith area. So even if you're not from an agricultural background, you can kind of see how life might have been, 100 years ago or so, 70 years ago. And then also on the property, we built a brand new pole barn a few years ago, and that's where we showcase some of our agricultural machinery, everything from horse and dog power up through a 1950s John Deere tractor.
Right, John Deere
That's
tractor,
right.
you gotta
So
love that.
that's where you'll see more of the agricultural equipment over in that building.
Well, so the stuff in the museum proper stays there, and it's always on display once a month, right?
Yes, so everything that you'll find, that you'll see at the museum are artifacts that we've collected and had donated to us over the last 25 years. Housed in the buildings, we do rotate some displays, but as you said, we're open one Saturday a month, where we're open typically from 9 to 1, and then we'll have some sort of guest speaker or demonstrator come in, anywhere from like a class on backyard pruning, or maybe one of our members and board members did a talk on local dairy bottles. It's hard to find a dairy in the county that actually bottles milk, but turn the clock back 50 years ago, and there were dozens of them.
Right,
so
right.
We have
sure.
a lot of those artifacts that.
That sounds absolutely great, and there's no admission cost to get in.
No, you can come on one of those Saturdays when we're open. The only caveat to that is sometimes if we're doing like a class, like one of the biggest ones of last year, and we're going to repeat it this year, we're going to have a wreath making workshop. I think it's the second Saturday of December. We charge for supplies for that, and you'll see that announcement on Facebook. You can always follow us on Facebook, or just Google Cecil County Farm Museum and
I
find
have
our
the
webpage.
information right here.
There you go.
December 9th.
Okay, so there will be a sign up for that. We do have a limited number of slots, so keep your eyes open for that. That was very popular.
And how would a
this year.
person sign up? Go up to the barn and carve it into the
No. So that particular event, there'll be an announcement put out on Facebook, and you'll have to, log on and give us your information. But most of the other months, it's just come out and, we had a talk on backyard chickens, which is a big thing. Ever since COVID, people are more interested in kind of knowing where the food's coming from,
Right.
maybe producing it on their own land. So we try to help out in those regards, educate people.
And coming up soon, October 21st, you have a big event, right?
Yeah, so our biggest event of the year held at the site, which is at 820 Appleton Road, right adjacent to the Cecil County School of Technology. Like I said, that's where we lease 8 acres. So on October 21st, we have our Heritage Day. Now, you roll the clock back maybe 5 years, we just called it our Apple Butter Festival.
Right.
That is our main activity of the day, where we make apple butter in an open kettle like it's been done for centuries. But we kind of expanded the focus, called it Heritage Day. Now that we have the museum open, you can come and go through the museum, and we highly encourage that. You can help make apple butter. You can see our other live displays. We'll have a blacksmith there showing his craft. We have a gentleman that comes and does what we call primitive woodworking, where he'll take a hunk of wood and use tools that were available, in the 1700s, and he will make a spoon or a bowl, things of that nature. We have a lady that comes out and spins, wool into yarn. We have a basket maker. We're gonna have a candle maker there this year. So a lot of kind of trades and crafts from yesteryear, as well as we have some old machinery, where we'll have somebody with an old gas engine, what we call a hit and miss engine, maybe grinding corn into meal, something that was done, 100 years ago. So you can see all those kind of displays. The School of Technology comes down with some of their animals. We'll have tractor wagon rides for the whole family, and 4-H activities for the kids. So come on out and join us. There's free admission. We are a nonprofit organization, but we don't charge for admission. If you want to make a donation while you're there, that's great.
Certainly buy some apple butter, right?
Buy some apple butter. That's our big thing. And if you've never tried it, we encourage you to do that. But it's a big seller, and we'll make, between this coming weekend and the day of the event, we'll make 1,400 or 1,500 pints. So
Yeah.
it's a big production.
Yum. Sounds great. And I think young folks especially, but even those of us with a little age on us, got to realize how our grandparents and great-grandparents lived back in the day. It wasn't all hunky-dory all the time. It was a lot of hard work.
No. And so that's one of the reasons for the existence of the Farm Museum, why it was started, because we wanted to preserve our past, so that you can see when you go through the museum. And I didn't know this till I became a member and we started setting up displays. We have a couple, a dog treadle. Like, well, it's a dog treadle. Well, you think of a treadmill set up for a dog, so the dog would get exercise, but you could run a belt off of that treadmill and maybe run your washing machine. It's really kind of crazy when you think about it. As the saying goes, what is it?
Necessity.
Necessity is the mother of invention. So that, to reduce labor, they would use horsepower or dog power, human power, before we got into tractors and so forth.
Right.
So you see some of that kind of stuff. So I think it's interesting, but also important to teach, our young folks, or just a general population, that, this is kind of where we came from. How you live today. You've got a washer and dryer at home that if it breaks, you can't fix it because it's all electronic.
Right.
Here, the washers, you can see if it's not working, you replace a belt or a pulley or what have you. But
Sounds absolutely fascinating.
Yes, it's important to kind of showcase, where we were, but then also educate for the future.
So if somebody wants to find out more, they can go to your website, CCFMRAC, which means
Cecil County Farm Museum and Regional Agricultural Center.
Okay.
So they can go to our website, which you can easily find if you Google it, or Facebook. We post all of our events on Facebook and try to keep folks up to date on that for those that are on Facebook.
And the big one coming up is?
October 21st from 10 to 4. Now, you can come out. I obviously encourage you to come out that day. But if you want to get involved before then, we actually, in order to sell apple butter early in the day of the event, since we'll be out there cooking it, and it won't be in a jar yet, we make some this coming weekend, Friday and Saturday. Friday the 13th, we peel apples, and then some of us are crazy enough to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning Saturday to start fires and make apple butter.
Wow.
If you want to be part of that and learn what we're doing and come out and stir some apple butter, just get a hold of us through the contact information on Facebook.
Sounds like a lot of fun too.
It is. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And we get about 12 to 1,500 people come out the day of the event, weather permitting. So we encourage you to come out and join in on the fun.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Cecil TV should be there. Check it out.